I want to start off this video by letting everyone know that my name is Roberto Novello. I am a living, breathing human being. I was born here on earth. Obviously, I got a mother and father. And yes, I am a male. For the last year, I have never had to prove to anyone what I am, or who I am, for that matter. Unless you met me in a bar, you met me on the street, or you've known me. But now, I actually have to tell people what it is that I am. And that is a living, breathing human being. I exist. I'm making this video. This, in fact, will be video number 3 for me, personally. And I stated in my first video it was going to be the only one that I would make. I don't work for any affiliation. I've been self-employed since 1996. I've never had to rely on government grants or subsidies to help feed myself anywhere that I went, whatever it was that I did. But today, which is March, I believe it's 16, 2021, people are telling me that my freedoms have been taken away now because there's this virus that is, in fact, hiding all of us in our homes, behind our masks, our closed businesses, all for the fact that we can't have this happen. We can't have this virus take over the entire planet. We can't have this pandemic anymore. That's what we're being fed. If we can sort of wrap our heads around 365 days, well, in fact, it's been longer than that since we've been hearing this. And the exact same people that spit out this information watch us every single day get on the road, drive around, we're all in traffic, all of us together, some of us breathing natural air, which is probably carbon monoxide on the road, but then in fact wearing their masks inside their cars by themselves, might I add, with gloves on that have been contaminated from where the hell they went before they got in their cars and drove, to only go home, wash our hands, sanitize, and survive for the 300 and something day since this whole thing started. I want to touch on the reason why I'm making this video. And I just received a letter, actually this past Friday, from a school system where my children reside. In fact, where I pay taxes because this is my home, I own this home, and pays the dollars for them to go to school and keep that school open for our children to go and gather, to see their friends, maybe have a little laugh, maybe do some work and learn, education. All to be told since the start of all this, and their school year, I might add, in September, I have written more letters, more emails. I have spoken to many trustees, many politicians, many school trustees, all to get, we're all listening to the guy that's above us. That's all we get. We're all listening to the guy above us. We're only doing what we're told. We're only following the mandates. These are the bylaws. You got to abide by the bylaws. My wife and I went on school property last week, and we were told we are trespassing. And if we don't get off that property, they would call, in fact, the police. This is an institution that is holding my two children, which in fact are exempt, medically exempt, with paperwork, since it makes a difference all of a sudden for whoever you are. I've heard it from their lawyer. I've heard it from the superintendent. I've heard it from the principal. And now, after all the letters that I've written, there's no more chances. Let me let you guys in on a little secret that's been happening. And I know a lot of you right across Canada are really, really fearful of what you think might happen to your child if you've taken them out of a public school system. Well, let me in fact tell you what any school system under our current government looks like. Now, with this said, I have been warned by the Dufferin Peel Catholic District School Board that I'm in violation of defamation. Blah, blah, blah. In the court of law. Let me just tell you one thing. When you decide to touch two young children and they are under my care and they belong to me, call it whatever the hell you want, man. I don't care. You got to be mentally unstable if you think that what story I'm about to tell you is good. Then I don't even care what happens to you, because you've gone outside and there's no one home anymore. My 6-year-old, who I have been told is a liar by people in the school board, including the superintendent who did this forensic investigation, the principal at the school, along with whoever the hell she had a meeting with, but I wasn't invited. My 6-year-old, who never, ever suffered from mental illness in her life, is currently in the fight for her life. And I'll tell you why. Last week, my wife, who makes their glorious lunches every single day with the love in her heart, because these are her children and they're growing strong, being that they're both medically exempt, if I haven't told you yet. Forgot a spoon in our daughter's lunch. As she decided, or as lunch started, according to what I know, and I could care less because they're at school, so whatever the school protocol is, whatever it has to be, it has to be. But anyway, when my daughter found out that she had no utensils for herself to eat, one of her favorite dishes, coming from a Canadian Italian background, is pasta with butter. Those who don't know it, that's elbow pasta with loads of butter in it. Kind of like mac and cheese, but not fake. Grass-fed butter, elbow macaroni, Barilla, to be exact. One of the educators that was overseeing, apparently, the kids during lunchtime decided to let our little 6-year-old daughter know that she was pretty much out of luck and that she would have to eat the pasta with her hands. You guys finished freaking out yet? Yeah. No, just imagine. You got a little thermos, a Coleman thermos, right? You take the lid off and you got all this pasta full of butter inside here. And you got to scoop that out with your hands or pour it in the lid because that's all you got. And with your little hands, grab those little pieces, right? And eat it with your hands. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I thought we lived in Canada. There's some unfortunate countries in the world that children have to eat in this matter, and so do adults. God forgive all of the people that allow that to happen, let alone let it happen in today's society. Did you wrap your head around it yet? She ate with her hands. They investigated and told us that our daughter was lying. That's incident number 6. I'm not even going to get into the other ones, because once somebody writes in a document or a letter that they did some forensic investigation with all parties involved and they came up with that bullshit, now you got my attention. I'm not hanging in the weeds anymore, man. That's how you want to treat my kids? I pay to send my children to a government institution that is run by we know who, and I gotta abide by those types of rules? I doubt it. Strongly, I doubt it. How stupid do you think all of us are? You want to come at me with your lawyers, whatever? You think I give a shit? Seriously. You touch any child? I don't care what child and whose child it is. You're going to get a face full of me. I cannot believe the hate mail and rhetoric that I have been receiving ever since I've been vocal about all of this. It's appalling. It's absolutely incredible what mainstream media, government funded associations that are running the show, telling you all exactly what it is and what it's supposed to be. You guys can make your own judgments. Honestly, you truly, truly can. But when you touch a little baby, sorry, there's no sympathizing with that. I try to be as positive as possible, and I try to be as loving as possible. But just because my daughter told me a story about how it is at her school, and that person that treated my daughter like that decides that she doesn't want to talk to her anymore and treat her differently, yeah, that's what she's doing. You know how I know? At about 4 o'clock every afternoon, Monday to Friday, when my daughter comes home from school, she loses her shit. That's how I know. If you've ever met my daughter, you would know that there's actually something wrong with her. I don't care if you don't care. She's mine. She's my responsibility. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this entire con job that we have had to live through. And yeah, let the hatred start now, because God forbid you remember the story about my daughter that I just spit out a few minutes ago, right? Because now the talk will be, oh, look at this guy. This guy's another guy like that. No, I'm not. I'm not another guy like that. I'm just a passionate father that was born and bred in this country anyway. Not that I want to be here anymore, but in this or on this land that we took from the indigenous people. And now, with all the taxes that we all pay, all of us, not just me, right across Canada, that comes with rules. There's no church. You can't pray to God because that is against the law. We pay the government. We do. We do. Okay? Not the people. Because that's legalese. If you need to look that up, look it up. We are living, breathing human beings. We fall under one law. That's common law. There is such a thing. If you want to be informed, you should inform yourselves. Because it's all about peace, love, and happiness. And the people decide whether things are right and things are wrong. If you can't find one single person in an entire institution that is for educational and for the purpose of keeping kids healthy and safe, and you can't come up with a utensil, I say get rid of it. I'm going to stop paying for it. Why should I pay for something? And all they're doing is creating abuse.